Hello and welcome to our general Hatha practice. So we're going to start in our comfortable seated positions, so cross legs, legs out in front, whatever resonates with you today. And wherever we are, we've got the eyes closed to start. And we'll take the opportunity here at the beginning of our practice to start to draw our awareness within. Firstly, bringing your awareness to your physical body here on your mat. Just notice how you're feeling in your body today. So we want to sit up nice and tall. We've got even weight between left and right sit bones. The spine is long, the shoulders are relaxed. We're sitting tall through the crown of our head. Move your awareness now to your breath. Without forcing or changing your breath in any way, feel the way in which your breath is flowing through your body. Start to deepen and lengthen your breath here. Inhaling deeply through the nose, all the way down into your low belly. Smooth, steady inhale. Slow and steady exhale. We're aiming to have the inhale and the exhale match each other in length. Just release now the conscious awareness or conscious control of the breath and just return to your natural flowing breath. Now the theme of our practice today is around the concept of self-study. And self-study forms part of the niyamas, which is the second limb of yoga. As we move through the practice today, I invite you to really draw your awareness deep within and notice what you discover about yourself. Notice what you discover about your practice today, your body, your breath, your emotions, and all without judgment. From here we can gently open the eyes and we're coming straight over onto hands and knees. Knees under the line of your hips. Hands just forward of the shoulders. We'll start by moving into cat-cow. As we inhale, start to drop the belly. We're lifting up through the heart center. Lift the gaze. Exhale, tuck your chin, rounding your back out. Moving through again. Inhale through front body. Exhale, back body opening. We'll move through 3 more rounds of the same here so we can exaggerate the movement a little bit, trying to get some nice heat and energy moving into the spinal column. synchronizing your movement here with your breath. As we inhale, coming back to a neutral spine, we can tuck the back toes under. As we exhale, lift the hips up. We're coming into our first downward facing dog. So you might choose to stay still here. You might like to now bring some movement into your pose. Maybe you'd like to rotate through the spine, rotate through your hips, walk your dog, pressing one heel towards the mat and then the other. And we'll take the opportunity at the start of our practice here to notice how we're feeling in our body in this pose. So we'll be still in the pose now. As we inhale, bending your knees or looking forward. Exhale, step your right foot forward. We're going to keep that back heel lifted, the back knee lifted. Pausing here in our high lunge, we want to draw back on the right hip. Keep the gaze to your mat. And we're focusing here on bringing space to those inner hips. So you might choose to move your body forward and backward or side to side gently. Now from here, we'll gently drop down to the back knee. Keeping the fingertips as they are, we'll use the inhale, peeling that front foot up off the mat. Keep a little bend in the knee to start if we need to. We're just starting to warm up through the hamstrings here. Exhale, bending the front knee. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. One more round of the same here with your breath. Flatten down through the palms. Inhale, lift the back knee, and as we exhale, press back, downward facing dog. Inhale, bend your knees, looking forward. Exhale, step the left foot forward this time. So coming back into that high lunge. Press through the heel of your back foot here. So again, we're focusing on the inner hip opening. You might choose to move your body forward and back or side to side. Notice if this side feels any different from the first. From here, we'll gently drop down to the back knee. As we inhale, start to peel that left foot up off the mat. Hamstring opening here again. Exhale, bend the front knee. Twice more of the same here with your breath. Start to bring some more length into that left hamstring. Tuck the back toes. Inhale, lift the back knee, looking forward. Exhale, step forward to the top of the mat. We're coming into Uttanasana. So feet are hip distance apart. If your hamstrings are still a little bit tight, we'll move the feet wider. Bring a little bend into the knees to start if we need to. And as we exhale, we're coming to fold forward. So we can either have the fingertips to our mat. You might choose to take a hold of the opposite elbows. We're grounding through the soles of our feet here. Our shoulders and our neck, they're all free of tension. Just let your head hang heavy. Just let the weight of the world fall off your shoulders here. If you've got the opposite elbows here, we'll just gently release the fingertips. Inhale, lengthen the spine. As we exhale, walk our fingertips over to the left side of the mat. So you might need to bend your knees a little bit here, and just bringing a little bit more of a stronger opening to that left hamstring. Inhale, we'll come all the way over to the opposite side. As we exhale, we can fold. Remember, you may need to bend your knees here. Inhale, coming back to center. And from here, very slowly, we start to roll ourselves all the way up to standing. Once we get there, we're coming into Tadasana, mountain pose. Your eyes are closed. Here in Tadasana, ground down through the soles of your feet. Draw up through your lower belly. Spine is long, shoulders are relaxed, and just take the opportunity to center yourself here, connect to your breath before we start to move through some sun salutations. As we inhale, we can gently open the eyes, draw the arms up and overhead. Exhale, fold, bring your fingertips to your mat. Inhale, lengthen the spine, looking forward, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, step the left foot back, gently drop down to your back knee. Inhale, rise up, Anjayasana, crescent lunge. Exhale, hands through heart center. Inhale, step ourselves into plank. The option is to drop to your knees if we need to. Exhale, chaturanga, all the way to the mat. Press through the tops of your feet. Inhale for cobra. Exhale, press back, downward facing dog. Inhale, float your left leg up towards the sky. Exhale, step the left foot forward, gently drop down to the back knee. Inhale, rise up, crescent lunge. Exhale, hands through heart center. Inhale, tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, looking forward. Exhale, stepping forward. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, hands through heart center. We'll move through that sequence again on the other side as we inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift, looking forward. Exhale, let's step our right foot back this time, gently drop down to the back knee. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, hands through heart center. Inhale, come into plank. Remember, we can drop to the knees if we need to. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale for cobra. Move your shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, press back to dog pose. Inhale, float your right leg. Exhale, step the right foot forward, gently drop to your left knee. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, hands through heart center. Inhale, lift the back knee, looking forward. Exhale, step forward. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, hands through heart center. We're coming into Tadasana. Eyes are closed down. Pausing here, notice the qualities of your breath. Feel the heat starting to build in your body. As we inhale, we can gently open the eyes, draw the arms up and overhead. Exhale, fold. Inhale, spine is long. Exhale, come into downward facing dog. Inhale, float your right leg up. Exhale, bend that right knee. We'll start to drop that right heel towards the left side of the mat. So opening up here through the front of the right hip. Try and keep your torso squared off to your mat here. Inhale, coming back to center. exhale, step your right foot forward, and we're going to keep that back heel lifted for now. So we're going to pause here in our high lunge. So this is where we started the practice earlier. We're going to draw back on the right hip, gazes to the mat. Now if you've got blocks at home, you might choose to frame your front foot here with your blocks or your improvised version of your blocks. From here, we'll use the inhale, start to straighten out through that right leg. So here again, you might need to keep a little micro bend in your right knee if the hamstrings are still warming up. So we can feel this is a really strong opening for the right hamstring and the outer right hip. So you want to breathe into this space. We can either stay working here with the spine nice and long. If we're going on, we use the exhale to fold forward to the inside of our right leg. We'll be here for a few breaths, so we're using our exhale to fold a little bit deeper into the pose. So the theme of our practice is self-study. So we're using these forward bends now to take the opportunity to draw our awareness within. Forward bends are very introspective. So we want to take full advantage of that here. Inhale, lengthen the spine, bend your front knee. From here, we'll just step that back foot in a little bit. And then from here, we can walk either our fingertips or our blocks forward. And then see if we can float our left leg up off the mat. So we want to press through the heel of that left foot, so that makes sure that that leg is engaged. Again, you might need to keep a bend in your right knee here. We want to square the torso off to the floor, breathing into that outer right hip. From here, we're going to transition into Ardha Chandrasana, half moon pose. From here, we'll start to rotate the torso open towards the left. Left hand to left hip. So drawing back on our left shoulder here. Press through the heel of your left foot here, so that left leg is engaged. If we're going on, we use the inhale to float the left fingertips. Smooth, steady breath. So we want to find a drishti here, a gaze point, so you might keep your gaze to the floor. If you're feeling quite steady here, you might be able to lift your gaze to the top fingertips. Now we can stay here. The last option, if you'd like to go on, is to take a hold of the top of our left foot and come into a little bit of a back bend here. So we're pressing the left foot into the left hand and start to open up here. Just hold here as long as feels okay. Once you're ready to come out of the pose, slowly with control, we can release our left foot back to the mat. Let's turn to face the length of our mat now. So the heels are lined up evenly at the back of the mat. We're grounding down through the soles of our feet. So heels out and toes in slightly. Pop up onto your fingertips. You want to feel here as if the sit bones are separating. Again, you might need that little bend in your knees here to see how it feels for you. As we inhale, draw length into the spine, and you may choose to stay working here. As we exhale, we're coming to fold forward. So here you might choose to walk the fingertips forward. You might choose to walk the heels of your hands backwards to meet the heels of your feet. Just see what resonates with you here. We use the inhale to draw length into the body. As we exhale, we can fold a little bit deeper. Using each exhale we take to create some more length into those hamstrings. Inhale, lengthen the spine, walk the fingertips back. We'll keep the right foot as it is, and then we're going to come over to the other side. So we'll turn to face the other end of the mat. Lift the back heel now. Come into your high lunge. Draw back on your left hip. Gaze to your mat. Just focus here on bringing that space to your inner hips. We're framing that front foot here with our fingertip, preparing for our hamstring opening here. So as we inhale, start to draw back on the left leg. Again, if you've got your blocks or your improvised blocks handy, you pop those to the outsides of the left foot. Keep the bend in the left knee if we need to. Spine is nice and long. We can stay working here. If we're going on, we use the exhale to fold forward here to the inside of the left leg. So again, we'll be here for a few breaths. Just notice if this side feels any different from the first. Take the opportunity here to go within. Notice what you discover. Inhale, lengthen the spine, bend your front knee. Step the back foot in a little bit, walk your fingertips or your blocks forward. And then from here, we'll start to float that right leg up. So here again, we want to roll that right hip down. So we're squared off to the mat. Press through the sole of your right foot. Breathe into your outer left hip, your left hamstring. One more breath here. From here, we're coming now into half moon pose. Rotating the heart center now towards the right. Bring the right hand to the right hip. Press through the sole of your right foot. So we can either stay here if we're going on. We can float those right fingertips. Find your gaze point here to help you with your balance. Last option, if we're going on, take a hold of the right foot in the palm of your right hand. Start to create your back bend here. See if we can lean into the back body. Once you're ready to come out, slowly with control, release that right foot back to the mat. Turn to face the long edge of your mat once again. So we'll set up in the same way that we did on the first round, and you can either take one of those two variations that we did earlier. If you wanted to bring some upper body opening into the pose, we can clasp our hands behind the back. Use the inhale to draw length into the spine. As we exhale, we'll come for our fold. And if you take in this variation, we can feel that the legs are working really strongly here. We haven't got the support of our fingertips. Smooth, steady breath. We should start to feel some length now coming into the hamstrings and the lower back. Two more breaths here. As we inhale, lengthen the spine, walk the fingertips back. Bring a little bend into your knees, turn to face the top of your mat, and come back to your resting pose. So that might be downward facing dog, or you may choose to come down into forward stretch. Knees wide, hips to heels, arms long, and third eye down to the mat. center yourself here. Reconnect to your breath. If we haven't already, we're coming back up into downward facing dog. Inhale, bend your knees, looking forward. Exhale to the top of the mat. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, hands through heart center. Okay, so from here we're going to move into a standing balance pose, Padangusthasana, which is our so if you think that you might need a little bit of extra length for a hamstring standing balance pose, if you've got a strap at home, we'll take a hold of that now. If not, we can use a normal towel or a tea towel or something. Okay, so from here, start with the hands to the hips. Bring all the weight over into the sole of your left foot. And then from here, we're going to draw that right knee in towards the chest. And actually, this is option one. If you don't really want to take that extra hamstring opening, we can stay working here. Option two is now to wrap your strap or your towel underneath the sole of your right foot. And then option three is to bring your hand now to the outside of your right foot. And then we'll start to extend that leg straight out in front. So spine nice and long, left hand to left hip for now. As we inhale, we'll start to draw that right leg out to the side. Exhale, coming back to center, and then gently release. So just reset yourself here. We're going to come over to the other side. Move all the way into the sole of your right foot. And then option one, draw the left knee in towards the chest. And then if we're working here, we can then just move that knee out to the side and then back to center. Ground down through the sole of your right foot, spine is long. Option two, wrap your towel or your strap around the sole of your left foot. Option three, take a hold of the sole of the left foot in the palm of your left hand. And then we'll extend that left leg straight out in front. Take an inhale here. As we exhale, we can start to draw that left leg out to the side. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, gently release. So just shake those legs out a little bit here. Okay, so we're going to move through Padangusthasana again, once to each side. And you can either take one of the two options we've already moved through. So option one is bent knee. Option two is leg extended. The difference is we're now going to bring a rotation into the pose just to challenge your balance a little bit more. Hands to hips. Bring the weight into the sole of your left foot. And then we'll draw either the right knee towards the chest. Option two, extend that right leg straight out in front. Take an inhale here. As we exhale, we can draw that right leg out. Inhale, come back to center. Here's the change. So we're going to change the grip. Left hand to the right foot or the right knee. We can extend that right leg out once again. If I can do it for you today. This is really hard next to a pool. And then we can extend the right fingertips out beside you, and maybe you can turn your gaze behind you here. So just stay in the pose as long as feels comfortable, and when you're ready you can use the inhale to gently release. Come back to center. Okay, so just shake your legs out here again, and then we're going to move through that on the other side. Ground down through the sole of your right foot. We can either hug that left knee in towards the chest, and we'll move from here. Option 2, take hold of the left foot. We can extend that left leg out. Inhale here again, exhale, draw that leg out to the side. Inhale, come back to center. Here's the change, we change the grip. So right hand comes to the outside of your left foot. Extend that leg out here again. Extend your left fingertips behind you. Maybe you can turn to face your left fingertips. Easy inhale to gently release. Come back to center. So just a little bit of fun, just a little bit of a different variation for that pose. So we're going to come back to the top of the mat, Tadasana. Inhale, draw the arms up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, lengthen the spine, looking forward. Exhale, step back to dog pose. And then from here, we're going to come all the way down to the mat to forward stretch. We'll bring the knees wide, hips to heels, arms are long, and the third eye comes down onto the mat. And we'll be here for a few breaths. We're just grounding ourselves now after the standing poses. Inhale, slowly lift your head, come on up to sitting. Now from here we're going to come into Malasana, which is our squat pose. So we'll bring the feet out as wide as we need to, so your heels may or may not touch the mat. Either variation is okay here. We can either keep the fingertips to the mat, we can bring the hands into Anjali Mudra. And if we take this option, we want to press our elbows and our knees in towards each other. So we're just creating some more space in the inner hips and some more length into the spine. So you might even choose to close your eyes down. We'll be here for just a few breaths. And we can feel that we're opening up through the ankles, knees, inner hips. You'll also feel it through your lower back, through the Achilles. Inhale, gently release. From here we're moving over into Skandasana. It's going to move the weight over to one side, so we'll keep that knee bent. And then we're going to extend out through that other leg. So on this bent knee side, you may or may not get the heel down to the mat. So that's the same as our Malasana squat pose. So either variation is okay. Again, we'll either keep the fingertips to the mat or hands at prayer. We want to turn to look to our big toe here. And again, we can feel nice opening now through the inner leg. We're still working through the hamstrings and still feel it in our lower back. Just one more breath here. Inhale, start to gently release. Use your fingertips to help you here. So we're going to come over to the other side. So the opposite leg extends now. Again, you may or may not get that heel down to the mat. That's okay here. Hands at prayer, you might bring the fingertips down to your mat. Turn your gaze to your big toe. Feel the space all the way down your inside of your leg. Inhale, gently release. Coming back to center. Now from here, we'll turn to face the long edge of our mat. We're going to come into Matsyasana, which is our fish pose. So from here, we've done a lot of forward bends in our practice so far. So we're just going to counterbalance that now with opening up through the front body, through the heart center. So legs are nice and long. We can come down onto the forearms. And then we're going to just pop our hands underneath our sit bones here. So we want to draw up through the shoulders so that we can lift up through the heart center. So you might keep your gaze straight ahead. That might feel better for your neck. If you've got a nice, strong, healthy neck, you may choose now to drop the head, drop the gaze behind you. This is just optional for you. And we're only going to stay here as long as feels okay. So if you're only here for a couple of breaths and you need to come out, we can do that. When you are ready to come out of the pose, we'll tuck the chin towards the chest. Use the inhale to gently release and bring yourself down onto your mat. So we're just feeling the mat beneath us here. You might feel your heart beating, some energy moving through the front body after that back bending pose. Now from here, let's extend the left leg out onto the mat. We're floating the right leg up. I'm going to take a hold of the back of the right thigh. So relax your shoulders back down into your mat. We want to press the right leg into the palms of our hands. So we're not going for a hamstring opening here. We're trying to release out through our lower back. So gently press your leg into the palm of your hands. From here, bend your knee, and we're hugging that right knee in towards the chest. It's a nice cleansing, detoxing pose for both our physical body and also the emotional body. And it should also feel pretty nice here through your lower back as well. We're going to turn this pose now into a twist. Bring your right knee over now toward the left side of your mat. Right arm comes out to shoulder height. So you want to keep both of your shoulders grounded to your mat. We can turn our gaze over the right fingertips. And again, nice release here through your low back. Getting some nice rotation here through the spinal column. As we inhale, gently come back to center and just realign your spine here again. So make sure your spine's nice and long on the mat. Right leg extends, we're floating the left leg. Take a hold of the back of the left thigh. Relax your back body down into your mat. And again, we're trying to release out here through the lower back. So we can press our leg into the palms of our hands. Bending that left knee, we'll hug the left knee in towards our chest. And here again, visualize this cleanse, this detoxing action here for the physical and emotional bodies. Visualize that we're getting rid of any old stagnant energy from our body. And we're making way for fresh, clean energy to enter. Let's turn our pose into our twist. Left knee comes over to the right side of the mat. Left arm draws out to shoulder height. Keep both your shoulders grounded. Turn your gaze over your left fingertips. Use your exhale to maybe rotate a little bit deeper. Use your inhale to come back to center. Realign the spine here again. And from here, we'll draw the knees in towards our chest. And we'll start to roll around in one direction. Nice massage here for the lower back. And then come back in the opposite direction. Come back to center, and then we'll draw the knees nice and wide and then draw them back in towards the chest. We want to keep our sacrum grounded here. And we can gently release. We're preparing ourselves to come into Shavasana now. So if you've got any final poses that you would like to take before coming into Shavasana, please feel free to do so. If it's a little bit cool where you are, you might pop your jumper on or put a blanket over your body. And once you're ready to come into Shavasana, we'll have the legs extended straight out in front. We can allow the feet to flop out wide. Arms rest beside the body, palms facing up towards the sky. The eyes are closed if they aren't already. Allow the weight of your body to begin to melt down into your mat. Make sure you're not holding any tension in your body, and if you find that you are, just make a conscious effort now to surrender. This is our time to rest, to restore, to remain present with our gentle flowing breath. Very slowly now we're starting to bring the awareness back. Start to become aware of your surroundings. Begin to bring some gentle movement back into your body. Invite a nice deep breath into the body, stretching out through arms and legs. Bending your knees or gently roll to the right hand side. Just pause here for a few moments. Once you feel ready, you can bring yourself up into a comfortable seated position. Eyes remain closed. We'll draw the hands to heart center in Anjali Mudra, prayer position, bowing the head down. As we close our practice together, we'll internally practice gratitude for the many blessings in our life. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me today, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Namaste.